let's do it.
Hey, a box of old videotapes. Hey, Lise, think you're well adjusted? I've got something to show you.
Is this gonna be like a fucking analog horror thing?
Let's take a journey to the distant past, back when hideous dinosaurs roamed the earth, and out of the primordial sludge oozed Homer sapien.
Bart!
Uh-oh, roll it, dude! Oh my God, that's me! I'm on Fox!
Bart, get your butt over here right now! Go!
Wait, I was in a commercial? I don't remember this at all.
Oh, I get it. Get it.
Hey, Bart, want to trade lunches? No way, dude. I got each of the 4 food groups. Sandwich group, cow group, jungle group, Butterfinger group. Hey,
Cow group.
Butterfinger group. Au contraire, mon frère. The Butterfinger group provides the crunchy peanut butter and chocolatey taste essential for survival. I don't have.
Oh yeah, that's the first Millhouse.
Looks
It's like the first time he appears, huh?
Dude.
I heard that the other day.
Buttery
I know
Butterfinger.
that.
It's neato.
And it's neato.
And it's neato.
Behold, the last Butterfinger in the whole house, and I.
Oh, this was
have it.
weird when they gave him a
Princess
green
of
shirt
kissing.
sometimes. What the fuck was up with that?
Whoa! Check out the smooth, chocolatey outside, the crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery inside.
Dad says if you make a scream, you're dead meat.
You wouldn't scream.
You devil lord.
Now what?
Never mind.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Hey, paper baghead!
Oh man, I'm dead meat on a stick.
How much money you got, Simpson?
$1.
I like a
3
Butterfinger
cents, Mr. Bully,
Blizzard.
sir.
Keep it
DQ when
changed.
they used to do
Thanks,
that.
man.
Think I'll take that Butterfinger, too.
Think again, Nelson.
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Ooh, my little buddy's sleeping like a baby. He won't mind if I take a bite of his crispity, crunchity peanut.
I told you, Homer. Nobody better lay a finger on
How
my
do you
Butterfinger.
make homemade Butterfinger? Just like toffee?
Look at this thing, Blood Bart, and tell me what you say.
A Butterfinger.
And this one?
Another Butterfinger.
Just as I thought. Your obsession
That's
with
the guy
this
they
so-called
kill.
Butterfinger can be overcome only by sharing the very object you hold most dear.
Speak English, Doc.
I want that Butterfinger!
You need help, man.
Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery Butterfinger.
Wait, boy!
Sorry, man. But nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
And try new Butterfinger ice cream bars.
Cool, man.
Oh, those were
Butterfinger on a
good, I
stick.
think. I remember those.
At last they're here. New Butterfinger ice cream bars.
Hi, dudes.
Crispity, crunchity outside, creamy ice cream inside.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Bart, I'm gonna open my mouth and close my eyes, and you're gonna give me a big surprise.
Crispity, crunchity, peanut
Homer.
buttery Butterfinger.
It's fucked up,
Nobody
man. You
better lay a
shouldn't do that
finger
to your
on my
kids.
Butterfinger. Open sesame.
Hey, Joe, we're down to the last Butterfinger.
The last Butterfinger! Aha!
Simpson going deep.
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Ayo. Now, little spike-headed one.
I remember this one.
First lesson. Ayo. Lesson number 2. Now we take Butterfinger break.
Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery Butterfinger.
Lesson number 3. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
And try new Butterfinger ice cream nuggets.
I'll be your best friend. You already are.
Ooh, I bet you kids would like some of these new Butterfinger ice cream nuggets.
They sure would have.
Would have.
No!
Crispity, crunchity outside, creamy ice cream inside.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Butterfinger BBs. Why don't you share them? Just eat them. Share them. Eat them. Share them. Eat them.
New crispity, crunchity, Butterfinger BBs.
Come on, eat them all. Okay. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Math is easy.
You could actually like
Let's say you
shoot them
have
out of a
15
BB gun
Butterfinger
too.
BBs, and I take 5 of them. What do you have left?
One less,
You
sister.
like broke my neighbor's
Crispity,
windows.
Crunchity, Butterfinger
Sick.
BBs.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
What the? You're such a brat, Bart.
What?
Yeah,
That's
you won't
weird.
share your new Butterfinger BBs.
Oh, we're taking them. Ooh, bite size.
No, no.
Really munchies, man.
Bag a bunch of crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery Butterfinger BBs. They're new.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger BBs. Try to get up, Homer.
I can't.
Too bad, man.
Why, you little crabs.
Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Police! I've been robbed!
You say it was crispity, crunchity, and peanut buttery? Oh, yum.
Who laid a finger on Bart's Butterfinger? There are 6 suspects, but only 5 alibis.
What's an alibi?
No!
Find out who doesn't have an alibi, and you could win $50,000. See these wrappers for details.
Name.
Homer.
Do not remember this.
The crime of the century has been solved. We're live from Springfield to find out who laid a finger on Bart's Butterfinger and who will collect the $50,000 reward.
Wheel 'em out, boys.
Homer? Rusty!
That's who done it. And here's who won the $50,000 reward.
Nancy Fredholm from Hudson, New Hampshire. The one effective detective, ma'am.
What happened to the lights?
It's just a power outage, Dad.
What was that?
It's just Bart eating a Butterfinger.
And it sounds like he's right over here. Oh, how about a bite, little buddy?
Well, okay, Homer. Just one.
Hey, this tastes just like a dog biscuit.
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
What did I tell you, Principal Skinner?
Mrs. Scribumple, it's time we cut off Simpson's Butterfinger supply.
It's showtime!
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Thanks, Bart. Plato says to share is to truly live. Yeah? Well, Bardo says eat my shorts.
Crispity, crunchity Butterfinger BBs from Nestle.
Well, I don't see that quote anywhere. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger BBs.
Gang, do you hear that?
Indeed, my sister. Look.
Whoa!
UFO spotted in Springfield.
Homer!
Night, boy.
Whoa, alien dudes.
You ingest this earthly confection for pleasure. We shall study this Butterfinger.
As well as you.
Let me take you to my leader.
There's nothing like a crispity, crunchity peanut buttery Butterfinger from Nestle.
Oh, not again.
Night, Homer. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Come on, boy!
Bart's Butterfinger, so Butterfingery.
Hit a homer, dude.
Crispity, crunchity Butterfinger from Nestle.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Lousy ducks. Woohoo! Ew. Trade you that teeny little Butterfinger for this big manly poodle.
No thanks, homeboy.
You little... What the...
Presenting Sheba the Bearded Lady.
Crispity, crunchity peanut buttery Butterfinger from Nestle.
Want to go dancing?
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Why did it become like shitty quality at the end?
Bite my Butterfinger.
From Nestle.
What was that?
A Butterfinger, Grandpa?
Well, stop it.
Okay.
I said stop it!
I did.
Oh, darn osteoporosis.
Bite my Butterfinger.
From Nestle.
Bite my Butterfinger.
From Nestle.
All gone, homie.
Can I at least smell your breath? A, B, 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 C, C, B, B.
Peanut buttery Butterfinger BBs. Is there any snack as crispity? No, there isn't.
J, K, L,
N-O.
P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, X, Y, you little...
Butterfinger BBs.
From Nestle.
I remember seeing that one like a million fucking times.
Apu, where are the Butterfingers?
Sold out, but try my other 350 candy varieties.
I need a crispy, crunchy, peanut buttery Butterfinger.
I'll give you 4 fingers.
Nothing like a Butterfinger.
From Nestle.
Butterfinger.
Bart, you've got some unique activity in your brain's pleasure lobe. Diagnosis? Butterfingeritis.
No cure?
Afraid not.
Cool. Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery. Nothing like a Butterfinger.
From Nestle.
Oh, why does Bart always get the good diseases?
Honey, you did have a great time doing those commercials, and you made a lot of money.
I did. Where is it?
Your father invested it in a college trust fund, which today must be worth a...
La 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 la.
You spent all the money I earned?
I needed it.
That is kind of funny. It's been long enough where they could like joke about that being a thing. Weird. All right. How about one thing? And then I'll play another game in a minute.
My name
Check
is
this out,
Emerson, and this happened to me in year 7. I lived in an apartment with 20 blocks. Mine was on the 16th block, and I went to visit one of my friends, a couple floors down. We had a good time together, and after 2 hours, I decided it was time to leave. But right before I left, there was a nasty, rotten smell. I shrugged it off, thinking I was drunk, but it was not because of that. When I walked outside, I saw dead bodies in front of doors. A chill ran down my spine. I was thinking about staying at my friend's for the night, but I had left chicken in the oven so that when I came back, it would be ready. I called the cops, and they told me not to touch the body. I went to the balcony to get some fresh air after what I just saw, but the thing I saw next made me sick to my stomach. There was a guy dressed up as a Grinch. At first, I thought it was a prank because we were 2 days away from Halloween, but I saw blood on his clothes. I'm pretty sure he was the killer of that body we found. I tried stepping away quietly, but I guess that guy heard me because I heard him running towards my direction. I quickly ran to the elevator. I looked back once, and I saw that same Grinch. I got on the elevator right before he could get in, but as I was going down, I heard him say, "See you at the 16th floor, Emerson." How did this guy know my name and my floor? I had to act quickly, so I stopped at the 17th floor. I was right on top of the floor he was in, so I heard his wicked laugh. I went back in the elevator and went all the way to the parking floor to hide in my car. But while I was going down, I got a call from my friend saying that security was dead. That meant that the Grinch person killed the security guy. I told my friend to meet me at the parking floor. But I did not know what was waiting for me on the other side. As the elevator door opened, I saw that same Grinch person. He pulled out a gun and said, "Nice try, bitch." I ran screaming, but he just laughed and shot me right in the ear. The next thing I knew, I woke up in the hospital. Apparently, the police came right before he could shoot me again. I could not provide much detail about him, as he had a whole Grinch suit on, which covered most of his body. Sadly, my friend did not make it either. It turns out he had 2 of his friends with him and stabbed my friend to death. The police eventually found that person and was sentenced to life in prison. But I know how smart that person is, because of how he figured out my plan. I really do not want to see that person again, because if I do, I will probably not be able to hold it for longer. I still wonder what would have happened if the police did not arrive right before I got shot.
Hold it. Hold what? Hold what? What is he going to hold for longer? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Kind of weird. All right, we're going to take a short break from gaming for a moment. I want to show you guys this sick fucking show again.
Earth really needs you. Arcane is bad for sure. So come on, fight for right. We need you.
There's like an actual like scary show. Yeah, there's like a movie. There's a bunch of shit. Tried to bring him back recently. Also, there's this whole subsect of people that want to fuck Swamp Thing. I swear to God, there's like a large amount of them.
Hey, Dr. Demo, Swamp Thing's coming. Get ready with that net. All is ready. Now. Blast him with the foliant.
Nice trick, Dr. Demo. But I know a better one.
I'll uproot that green freak.
Hang
on. Swamp Thing won't get far. Skin Man's coming.
Skin Man?
Hold that pose, Swamp Thing. After I smash you, I take you to Dr. Arcane. One piece at a time.
Arcane's thugs just don't know when to quit.
Lousy aim, Buckman.
Not exactly.
The steering wheel. No. Whoa.
capture me.
Skin Man being a goon does check out. Let me see if there's a better version without left audio. Swamp Thing.
Morning, Tomahawk.
Oh, we're fine.
It will take more than his gang of goons to capture me.
There was fight, all right. Must have been first-class bog brawl.
Some creatures never learn.
Ah, yes.
Morning, Tomahawk.
Another run-in with Arcane's thugs?
Arcane won't rest until I'm his prisoner.
Someone's coming. You better lay low till we know the score.
This looks like a good spot to plant this.
We got him! We got him! We got trouble. It's the game warden.
What are you two up to now?
We're just catching frogs, Tomahawk. JT says
It would be awful if someone were to piss on me.
What my man Delbert
I am just a normal tree.
relocating the local wildlife. Hey, cool loss of vehicle.
The bog rover? It was built by a friend of mine.
Please.
Someone who knows this terrain
No.
even better than I do.
Nobody knows this place as good as you,
Get him in the
Tomahawk.
background.
You'd be surprised, boys. This swamp has its secrets. Just steer clear of Dr. Arcane's plantation. Strange things go on there.
Swamp Thing. I hate that muck-encrusted mockery of a man. And again he has escaped your feeble attempts at capture.
Swamp Thing is a foe to make any man cower. At the Bug Beast command is monstrous power.
I am prepared to offer you even greater power. This is your opportunity for vast reward and sweet revenge. Behold, men, the first step to a brand new you.
Oh yeah, you ready for this?
Juicer.
What's that torture chamber got to do with us?
Ah, as men, you cannot hope to vanquish Swamp Thing. But the transducer will unleash your evil powers. You will become unmen.
There's just It's like an action figure thing you could buy.
Unman, arise!
That Swamp Thing was ahead of its time.
Next. Go, go, my unmen army! Bring me Swamp Thing and his secret formula!
Delbert, you almost had him. It's time to vamoose, JT. I'm hearing the call of a triple-decker sandwich. That's not lunch calling. That's the last catch of the day. Nab that frog. I got you now.
Yeah! Intruders! Tasty intruders! I think you'll be the main course, and your friend will be dessert.
Think again, Skin Man.
Move it, JT. We're in the middle of the monster mash.
point.
All right. I knew the big green guy would stick it to him. JT, they were probably fighting to see who gets to eat us.
Now I need to talk to you boys.
I'm going to eat you.
You boys picked the wrong place to
These intruders have seen too much. Lock them in the attic. Forever.
I'll attend to them later.
Let us go! Stop! We're locked in! This is it! We're monster dinner!
Someone might hear you.
That's the general idea, you slimy, ugly, scaly girl! Hey, how'd you get in here?
Easy. This creepy old place is full of secret passageways.
Thanks for letting us out, miss. But what are you doing here at Mutation Plantation?
I live here, unfortunately. I'm Abby Arcane.
That mad doctor is your stepdaddy?
I'm afraid so. He's a demented genius. Right under this mansion, he has a secret lab for his gruesome experiments.
Then why do you stay
Damn,
here?
she fucking
To
hates
help a
him.
special friend named Alec. My
Yo,
stepfather
Princess
calls
Crimson.
him
Thank you for the
Swamp
fucking year.
One of them
Entire
monsters?
year.
Monsters don't keep journals. He's a brilliant
Hell
scientist
yeah.
named Dr. Alec Holland. He trusted this notebook to me. It
Just
tells
watching
the story
Swamp
of his life's passion in his very own words.
A cure for world hunger. Journal entry 322. I am close to unlocking the secrets of biogenetics.
Breakthrough, Dr. Holland. Perhaps now you'll reconsider my generous offer to purchase your formula.
My research is for the good of all mankind, Arcane. I will not have it corrupted by your mad obsessions.
If you want to see mad, you stubborn fool, I'll show you mad.
To Anton Arcane, the growth formula meant only one thing. The first step towards his own immortality. Alex was convinced that Arcane would stop at nothing to steal the secret of his research.
I must have the formula. Give it.
What have you done?
Get out. Leave him. It can't be. Ah!
Because of my stepfather's evil, Alec Holland was transformed into a mutant combination of man and plant called Swamp Thing. So I'm staying here to help him become human again.
Then Swamp Thing was fighting that other monster to save us. He may be tall, green, and gruesome, but he's a good guy.
That leafy freak beat my unman?
He was feeding 2 little brats.
That's it. If those boys are in danger, that mountain of mulch will rush to their rescue. It's the perfect trap, and I already have the bait. They're gone. Search every inch of this estate. Those boys must not get away. Abigail! Abigail! Open this door immediately.
We just made Arcane's most wanted list. Let's boogie. Either that's one weird window washer or we're caught.
There they are. This ought to slow them down.
Doc!
Yeah, this guy got fucked. Skin Man got made into that. This guy got turned into a centipede. That sucks.
Nonsense! The swamp is the perfect place to lure that gooey do-gooder out of hiding.
This ought to do it, Jack. Your bog blaster is ready for action.
Thanks, man. If Arcane wants to start a swamp war, Bayou Jack is ready.
Nice shooting, Jack. Let's just hope it doesn't become necessary.
Alec! Alec! It's the boys!
This time, Arcane has gone too far.
Abby and I'll take the marsh buggy over to find Tomahawk. We can use all the help we can get.
The only one who's going to need help is Arcane.
We have them! Faster, Dr. Nemo!
Come on, Delbert! You can do it!
You fellas are mighty rude. Dr. Arcane just wanted to show you a little southern hospitality.
Why don't you pick on a life form your own size?
That's just what we had in mind, green guts.
Ah, Swamp Thing, I'm so glad you could join us. My unmen and I have planned a little experiment. You see, I've taken my show on the road. This torpedo will release my mutation serum. Boys will be boys, but not for much longer. Soon they will be unboys.
Unless I surrender to you.
Oh, you are a genius.
We're too late.
Arcane found his one weakness.
Underneath all that muck, he's still a man.
You win, Arcane. But the boys go free.
There will be other opportunities to test my mutation torpedo. Say goodbye to Swamp Thing, boys. He's donating himself to science. Today, the first day of the rest of my immortal life.
You still don't understand the growth formula, do you, Arcane?
What's so tricky? I'll live forever, and you'll wither on the vine.
Someday, you will learn.
Weed killer!
Right, boss. I've got a chemtoxinal trim his weeds.
The time has come to claim my reward. Your life began with chemistry, and so it shall end.
No telling what that crazy doctor's got in there.
We know what Swamp Thing's got out here. Friends.
You said it, Tomahawk. Now, are we
Bro just shoots Reddit down boats.
I know you want to help, guys, but Arcane is a dangerous man.
dangerous?
That's my weapon.
I guess you're right.
The Reddit down
Maybe we
boat.
should just plan before the fighting starts. But JT, he saved our lives. You sure this is the way in? Abby said that Arcane's lab is under the house. There's the lab. Look, Swampy. Is he? We're not too late, are we? No way. Let's get this joke jumping.
trespassing brats! Exterminate them!
Great! We just dropped into the gross out of the arcade corral!
I don't know how you boys got in here, but I'm going to get you out.
My formula ruined! My immortality gone!
Swamp Thing, are you okay?
I'll make it, I think.
After you, fellas. The back door is straight ahead.
They must not leave this plantation alive.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
Made in the shade. Right, Swampy?
Can't make it. I'm wilting.
We gotta do something fast.
Come on. We need to get him into the fountain. The water will revive him.
Come on, Swampy.
Thanks, guys. All right, Arcane. I'm ready for you.
Every mutant for itself.
March, Buck. Don't leave the swamp without me.
I'm gonna need my wheels.
Stand back, guys. Don't like your kind in the swamp, Skin Man.
Whoa, dude.
Get lost.
Swamp him, Swampy.
It's high time we settle this man to unman.
I've got too much firepower for you, Jack.
Well, some good old-fashioned swamp water should put your fire out. Now, let's see if I can give my buddies a hand.
No more tricks. Fire the mutation torpedo.
We're all gonna be monsters.
Hang on. I'll take care of this.
Incoming! If that stuff hits us, Arcane will have 3 new unmen.
Not if you give me something to grow on, Bayou Jack.
You got it!
You can't mutate a mutant.
Climb aboard, boys.
You coming, Swampy?
You bet. First. I've got some unfinished business with these unmen. This mock battle is over. Now! Arcane will never learn.
I will not be robbed of my immortality. One day that formula will be mine.
Home at last, but not to rest. Journal entry 935. Today, I have won. Arcane and his unmen were defeated.
935? That implies
I've won an even
this has been going on for years already.
I have turned their fear into friendship. But my greatest battle still lies ahead. I must find a cure to my own growth formula. Or remain trapped as a monster forever.
of fucked up. Or they let him just be like that. Why wouldn't they stop him? We gonna stop these guys. You know what I mean? It was not good, I see. That's not good. That ain't no good. How about I'm going through this little list I have. Try to find that'd be good to watch for a bit. Meals. Man, there's just nothing. Gotta find some new stuff to put on. Oh. True deep web horror stories.
There are two types of people who work at McDonald's, or fast food places in general. There are ambitious, intelligent people who are trying to work hard to achieve a goal, in the hopes that one day they'll be able to quit for the sake of something better. And then there are
Why
the
you a
losers,
hater, man?
those with no ambition who have given up and have no desire to achieve anything other than a weekly paycheck. I like to consider myself in the first category. As I was working hard to afford my apartment while taking classes at the local community college, I normally work the later shifts at the drive-thru window, which is the one spot most employees hated working the most. You constantly have to deal with extremely impatient, oftentimes very rude people who are on their phones or have music blaring, and oftentimes don't realize that I wasn't the individual who took their order, so it's not my fault if it's wrong. In addition to that, you're pretty much constantly on your feet and exposed to the elements. No matter how cold, windy, or rainy it is, you have to keep leaning out into it, wishing that you were in a warm car about to drive away from this place. My point being is please try to be more kind and patient with the drive-thru people. Yeah, some are lazy, but most are trying their best, and even though you only see them for about half a minute, a kind remark or a warm smile might make their day. Anyways, now that I've gotten that off my chest, I work the late shift with two people who I believe qualify for the second category of employees. Connie was a high school dropout who was almost always late and was never invested in what she was doing, and Harold was a deadbeat who often smelled like weed and only kept the job because otherwise his parents would throw him out of the house. He was 32 years old. So one night I was there after 11 p.m. by the drive-thru window on an extremely cold January night, flipping through the pages of my class notes and trying to keep warm by the fry machine. Connie was mopping while looking at her phone, and Harold was in the back probably getting baked in the walk-in cooler. That late at night, we rarely got customers, and if we did, they were almost always zonked-out college kids who used the drive-thru but never physically walked into the restaurant. I stood up and stretched my legs and told Connie that I was heading to the bathroom. It was around 11:30 at this point. I came back less than 5 minutes later, with Connie more or less in the same spot that she was before. I walked past her and turned the corner to return to the window, and froze dead in my tracks. There was a bald man in white face makeup and a black hoodie standing directly outside the window staring in. His eyes were wide, with a blank expression that read, "What kind of trouble can I create?" The figure made direct eye contact with me and smirked, and slammed his palm against the window. I had no idea what to do, and inside my head, the words clown, mime, psychopath, danger, and death all exploded like fireworks. The window was already shut and locked to protect myself from the cold, but the doors were all unlocked, and this person could easily walk right in and grab any one of us if he wanted to. In my head, I kept referring to it as he, but honestly, I had no idea what the gender was. The outfit and makeup made
All right, well, let's not assume. Just tell the story.
Open. Drawing out the word like a snake. Now, even if the figure wasn't dressed like that, I was under no obligation to open the window. It's unlawful to serve walk-ups at the drive-thru window, certainly for their safety, but also for ours. I shook my head and backed away. I called over my shoulder, "Lock the doors." The whole time, this figure didn't break eye contact with me, and to the best of my memory, I don't even remember it blinking. It drew back its lips in a sinister smile, and I shit you not, its gums were black. I don't mean I was too far away that I couldn't see clearly. I mean its gums were as black as licorice. Open. It hissed again, louder this time. Its other hand slammed against the window, and it licked its lips with its tongue. Open. That's when a third hand slammed itself into the window. A left hand, and it was just as pale and as skeletal as the other two. I lost my shit. "Holy shit! Call the cops!" I screamed, and ran back into the office, which was the only room with a locking door and no windows. I heard Connie scream, "What the fuck?" And she dropped her mop and flew across the room and made for the back with me. All the yelling attracted Harold, and I shoved past him into the office and told him to look at the security camera. Sure enough, the white-faced creeper looked to have 3 hands on the window and was tilting its head back and forth, perhaps trying to discover where I ran off to. We locked the office door and called the cops, explaining to the operator that there was at least 2 prowlers outside acting in a threatening manner towards us. I kind of expected it to be over after I called the cops. If it was a prank, they would run once they realized they scared me enough to call 911. But it didn't end there. We watched as the figure left the drive-thru window, circled the building, and made for the restaurant door. "Is there a second one? Look for a second one," I panicked while still on the phone with the operator. Connie was freaking out, and Harold was muttering something about not getting the police involved, likely because he was carrying weed. That's when the power went out. Everything. Cameras, lights, phone, the whole building went down. And barely 10 seconds after we all quieted down after shouting at each other in the dark, we heard footsteps in the dining room area. "Connie, did you lock the doors?" I whispered. She didn't reply. I think she had her hand pressed over her mouth. "Open." We heard a voice call from outside the room in the dark. "Open." The shout came at least 3 more times, circling from the kitchen to right off the hallway where we were hiding. I was convinced I was about to die, and every decision I had made in my life that brought me there was flashing before my eyes. We heard footsteps pass the office. After another few minutes, we heard the wail of police sirens outside, and at any moment, we expected to hear gunfire and the police shouting at someone to get on the ground, but we never did. We waited until the police identified themselves, and opened the door and ran out into the parking lot. Since the power was down, we couldn't show the cops the security footage, so we just told them what we saw. They swept the whole building and said it was clear. The owner of that particular franchise store showed up about an hour later, after Harold and Connie had left. I waited for the power to be restored, so an officer could escort me back inside to collect my belongings. The next day my manager called me and asked me to work the night shift. I asked him if the creep from last night had been caught. When he said, "There was no creep," I told him I quit and hung up the phone. This story is completely true. I have no idea what caused the power outage.
What?
which apparently erased all the security footage from the day. Without proof on video, my manager and the cops concluded that it was an elaborate prank, but that third hand still bothers me to this day, even more so than its hungry and
Navitron, thank you for that 8 months,
sure,
dude.
It could have been a prank, but I wish someone would just confirm that for me, so I can sleep again. Keep your windows locked at night, and if you hear someone tapping from behind the curtains, don't open them.
Don't open them. Do not open them. All right. How about been getting into a couple tabletop things lately. You guys might like this one. It's called Turnip 28. Fucking sick. This guy.
My friend, your eyes are finally open. Well, actually, more like eye. The other sucker seems to have formed into a gaping hungry maw, which is
I don't
quite
know
the
if this is going to be
blessing,
the
I
best
think.
video for this. There's not a lot of content out there for it, but it's like a tabletop Warhammer kind of thing. It's like all kit bashed.
Hey there, welcome back. I've decided to
Welcome
combine
back.
some artwork from two miniature armor wielding a massive halberd.
It's just
minis for myself to time that I have to get one of these videos done.
just to like mix like World War I guys with like some knights and stuff.
There.
Let's see if I can find like a cool overview of it.
I didn't really have a plan with the fodder. I knew that I wanted them to look quite grungy.
You're supposed to be able to play with like actual like turnips and potatoes instead of like tanks.
Experimenting. It's all encouraged. There's no dictated colour scheme to follow, so you can break the chain. Root vegetables and kit bashing.
Yeah, this is actually a good video,
I'm
I
going
think.
to tell you about a project of mine involving root vegetables and kit bashing creativity in a system called Turnip 28.
Yeah, so you just use
Models are
potatoes.
expensive. Okay, well, it depends. You see, I was introduced to tabletop wargaming a long time ago through Warhammer 40k and therefore Games Workshop. I collected a horde army of orcs, and I needed boxes and boxes of the little green men in order to actually field a sizable army. So because I wanted to play the game and play games with my friends, I bought lots of orcs because that's what was needed, but didn't really have a frame of reference if it was expensive or not. I thought it was a hobby that just needed a sizable financial investment, like many do, and I didn't really think anything about it. That was until I actually looked beyond Games Workshop and realised that they were the outlier. I'm not at all arguing that Game Workshop models aren't worth the cost, their quality is exceptional. But to me, the quality to cost ratio has hit diminishing returns for me. I just don't really care how well sculpted the tiny details are. I'm happy with perfectly regular, average details and just want to play lots of different games. For instance, one Warhammer army can easily be multiple armies or warbands for other games. Sculpting technology has improved so much that an average miniature today is better than an average miniature 20 to 30 years ago. There are a multitude of other companies out there that make models of perfectly fine quality that just cost less than Games Workshop. I realised that this assumption about the hobby had damaged my own ability to explore it.
You're just kind of summing up why, you know,
I thought Games Workshop and
checking out other
Warhammer
games
was
is
the
worth
only
it.
thing
This
that was
Games
out.
Workshop stuff is so fucking
Now that
expensive.
I've made this discovery and the
A
door was
1,000
open,
point
I stepped
army
through it and really started to
would be like,
explore
you know, 300,
the
400
world
bucks.
of miniatures. For starters, I discovered Perry Miniatures, who do a lot of historical stuff. Historical has piqued my interest,
And that's why
but I
stuff
never
like this,
really
where you
thought
just make the
seriously
army
about
out
the
of random
whole,
shit,
Napoleonic
it's like getting really
black powder
popular.
kind of thing. I didn't actually think I was old enough yet for historicals, because let's be honest, historical line infantry, black powder, cannons, they kind of attract a certain stereotype, and I don't think I'm there just yet. That was until I found out about Turnip 28. So let's get down to it. What exactly is Turnip 28? Turnip 28 is a skirmish wargame using 28mm Napoleonic figures set in a kind of alternate history-ish world, where the world stagnated after the Napoleonic era and became this damp, mouldy, infested, rotten. It's just a vile place. But people have endured. Sort of. Life is pretty miserable, and armies made up of pathetic people trudge through mud at the whim of some delusioned officer for arbitrary reasons. It's still filled with black powder, cannon, fancy hats, cavalry charges, all that sort of stuff. So, in short, it's kind of like a Napoleonic weird. Take your classic redcoat soldier with a musket and a fancy hat and combine it with a root vegetable. Is that vague? Yes, terribly. But that is sort of the point. The real twist is that this game only uses the historical side as a foundation, and it's how you then convert them to fit into the Turnip world that's down to you. It's very open to kit bashing, sculpting, odd paint schemes, and experimenting. It's all encouraged. There's no dictated colour scheme to follow, so you can break the chains of pre-painted box art and actually get very creative,
You just
not
use a
just
fucking
copy someone
potato.
else's vision. So what is the Turnip vibe or world? Well, allow me to explain. I'm going to read out the introductory passage from the Turnip 28 book. Turnip 28, the Squelchy Wargame. Churned mud and swampland stretches out into the gloom. Thick fog hangs heavy in the air. Rolling barrows loom out of the murk. A strange root writhes underfoot. 1,000 years after fix bayonets, devote yourself to the roots. So that's pretty cool, right? So this world is mouldy, dirty and miserable, which can be a little refreshing when you're dealing with some war games that are centered around superheroes that never really die. You can get an amazing example of what Turnip 28 is by checking it out on the internet. There's been loads of very creative artists and sculptors that have unleashed their potential with this topic and made some truly inspiring stuff. This is something I don't really feel you can do much with stricter systems. It doesn't encourage it as much.
If you paint the potato, though, wouldn't it like go bad eventually?
Very restricted. You can see the Napoleonic vibe with muskets and line infantry, then the slightly odd angle with helmets, faces hidden behind visors, roots growing out of backpacks, mud everywhere, battered flags flying and mutated vegetables oozing through the mud. So, with the full creative license to convert models however you want and do whatever you wish, what exactly have I done with Turnip 28? Well, I have actually been pretty busy on this. Because I knew a independent, non-GW game wouldn't really be well received in my gaming group, I decided to drop some money on 2 armies. It is a lot easier to introduce people to a game if you can provide all of the bits. So these models were done using Perry Miniatures French line infantry and Agincourt mercenaries for the armoured helmets and visors. I've never done line infantry like this before, so I didn't do a lot of converting on these units. I wanted to get that rank file, that military marching feeling, and I like to think I've got just enough of the weird Turnip feel. We've got mud, dirt, roots, all sorts of things growing in odd places, and then hidden faces behind rusted visors and helmets. Painting these models was actually really refreshing. I just threw browns, reds, loads of dry brushing, washed it all, dry brushed it again, and that's pretty much it. Like, if you pay attention to these models with a really critical eye, you can see loads of mistakes. but I feel that this sort of fits the vibe well enough. Everything is dirty and filthy. So this model here is the officer of one of my armies. It can just be a single model on a base, but due to the flexibility of the game, you can make things a little bit bigger and make a little diorama. It doesn't change the stats of the model if anyone's wondering, it just looks cool. I thought that it would be quite fitting to have this sort of arrangement, leaning more on the military angle, having a drummer and a standard bearer. So those models were for one particular army, more of a uniformed approach. This model, however, is the officer of my second army. I wanted something a little bit less military for this second one, and more like a mad cult leader. So the story behind this army is that they're simple peasants with their favourite wagon of compost filled with the best roots that they can find. As you can see, it's a work in progress, and I do look forward to updating you as this all comes round. And this is just my interpretation of things. If you want to sculpt a giant rotten potato out of putty and call that a valuable objective, then do it. Embrace the oddity that is Turnip 28. This is likely why I've been so drawn to it. It's just different. Yes, it is someone else's idea of a world and a setting, but that's where the line stops.
Kind of reminds me of like
The
Silent
player
Hill a
gets
tiny
some
bit.
incredible creative freedom with other parts in interpreting that setting, and it opens the door to other bits of the hobby, such as building, sculpting, kit bashing, and lots of kind of exciting painting. I'm certain other things out there exist like this, and I'm really glad that they do. Otherwise, people will be building the same models and painting the same things. Well, that's it from me, folks. I hope you're inspired to build or paint something a little different than you normally would. Take care.
It's like way cheaper too, like $50 to build like a couple armies compared to like $500. Not bad, not bad. All right. Okay. Apparently there's some places around here that people play too. So that's why I was looking into it. Yeah, 3D printer is expensive though to just grab. Would like to get one maybe eventually. Fumes too. Not so sure. I'd like to just like befriend someone who has one. Basically. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the resin is not exactly good for you. You can get a lot of stuff pretty cheap on Etsy too that people print, obviously. How about
Dude, hurry. Sit down. Sony presentation's about to start.
Welcome to the Sony PlayStation technology presentation, state of play, whatever you want to call it. Sony is doing good. We're doing good. Okay. That's why I want to announce the Sony PlayStation 5 Ultra. It's better than the regular PS5. And the graphics, look at that. It's really good. It doesn't have a disk drive. And some people say, shouldn't it be cheaper without a disk drive? No. It's not about that.
This doesn't seem good.
Something we've been developing for almost 8 years. ChordCon! Let's take a look at the roster. First up, Nut 1. He's a migrant refugee searching for his lost partner. Nut 2. When I say partner, I don't mean business partner. They're fucking.
Alright.
I didn't know they would say that.
Next up, Bung. Bung doesn't have a job, and now he's sticking it to the man. Kind of like an Occupy
They're
thing.
fucking.
You remember that?
Bung.
Meets the soldier, sack strap. Ooh, mommy. Ooh, mommy, step on me. And we are so excited about this game because it's player driven, and with the power of the PS5, it's gonna be great. It's canceled.
What? Wait.
Who gives a shit?
That's it?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off of the roof of this building. Do we have roof access here? I'll find it.
Oh my god, we have to help this guy. Siri, give me directions to Sony headquarters. Man is going to jump off the roof, and we want to stop him from killing himself. Okay, I've got directions. Come on, hurry! Hurry up! Oh, look, there he is!
Stop, dude! There's no need for this!
Why not?
ChordCon didn't look that bad.
Those characters? Nobody gives a fuck. It's too hard to be Sony. We don't have any beloved characters from years past, like Nintendo does.
Okay, what about like Crash Bandicoot?
No.
Parappa?
Sweet Tooth?
Ico?
Ratchet and Clank?
No.
There's literally none.
Jammer Lammy?
Sam Porter Bridges?
Joel?
Ellie?
Heihachi
Cloud?
Mishima? Lara Croft?
Solid Snake?
The Last Guardian?
Kratos?
Sackboy?
Vivi?
Sackboy?
Dante?
Nathan Drake?
Spyro?
Sackboy?
Daxter?
Jack?
The Ape Escape guy?
And that one polygon head dude, the mascot that they didn't really use that much.
You forgot Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, right, Shadow of the Colossus.
I've never heard of any of those.
All those characters we just mentioned were in a game your company just put out.
Astrobot! Yeah, it just came out. It's getting perfect reviews.
Everybody loves it.
I've never heard of that, and Google's not showing me anything, so...
What is he talking about? Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna Google this.
Whatever, guys. I'm just gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah, do it. Dude, he's right. Astrobot isn't coming up on my phone at all. Google, nothing.
Well, how is that possible?
I don't know. How is it possible that Sony wouldn't remember any of those classic characters unless they don't exist here at all?
Oh my god, dude. We're in a parallel dimension where all of Sony's classic characters are gone. It's like that movie Yesterday, except for this is about gamers instead of boomers.
Hold on, we gotta test this. Hi, excuse me. Can I ask you a quick question?
Just about that dead guy over there?
No, I don't give a shit about that.
Just ask him something random.
Okay, have you ever heard of Gangnam Style?
Yeah.
Well, how does it go?
Wait, dude, what are you doing?
A world without proper Gangnam Style? I gotta jump.
Wait. You don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. This is...
What the fuck? Oh, this was good.
Did you know? The new remaster of Dead Rising has removed erotica points from the game's photo mode.
Come on! That was my favorite part!
That's right. You could still take regular photos in the game, but how will you get an erotica rating? That's where we come in. Introducing Carl. For $29.99 a month, Carl will come do live erotica photo ratings for you while you play Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered.
What do you think about that one, Carl?
Yeah, you can see a little bit of
can see a little bit of a panty line there. I like that. I'm gonna give this one 300.
Good.
You want to take another one? Take another one.
Sure.
Oh, fuck. Oh, look at that. Oh, would you look at that? That's
You know,
the
I think
shit,
I'm actually just gonna
that's fucking great.
kill some zombies for a little while.
Yeah. That's a 1,000.
And he doesn't just rate Dead Rising. He'll rate any game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
400. One for each thing.
That's great, Carl. Thank you for that.
Tetris.
Oh yeah, you got that shit in there tight.
Yeah, Carl, it's Tetris.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Man, is that just me or does that thing look like a fucking cock?
Carl. The original Dead Rising satirical message on American overconsumption and the opportunistic nature of the media was lost on the general public. Be smarter than them. Get Carl.
Hey, when does Carl leave?
He doesn't.
Yeah, that water heater was sick. Both of those are really good. All right. Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe one last thing. Did it really? Wow.
This happened in April of 2021. My region hadn't been hit so hard by COVID, so most aspects of our lives were normal. I had graduated in 2020 and I needed a job. I was 18 at the time, almost 19. I wasn't studying and I didn't know what the hell to do with my life. So in March, I got a job at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver and kitchen hand. The night seemed normal. It was one of those days that didn't seem like anything interesting would happen, but those are always the days when the unexpected happens, you know? It was around 10:30 on a Saturday night. We closed at 11, so it was just me and my boss during the last hour. As usual, we got a late order. It was close, and I had finished mopping and sweeping the floor, so it was no hassle. My boss was always prepared for a million orders to come at the last minute, so he asked me to do it as fast as possible. The restaurant was located in a plaza on the main road. The traffic was consistently heavy on a Saturday, so I avoided the main road and took the side exit. Even though the plaza was in one of the busiest parts of town, this street, however, was always so dark and empty. This street was also really long, so all you could see were the traffic lights about 500 meters ahead. Something was confusing me though, like my eyes were playing tricks on me. There was this black shadow blocking part of the lights, and there was this metallic object shining in the light above, bobbing up and down like it was floating. As I got closer, I could see the bottom of this dark silhouette. It looked like it was walking. I realized it was some drunk idiot dressed in all black walking on the road. Or so I thought. I couldn't entirely see them, and I didn't know what they were carrying, so I approached with caution, preparing to brake or swerve. I got close enough to see this person was dressed in a long coat with a hood similar to a cowl, which is unusual where I live. I turned my car lights on bright and honked my horn, hoping that they'd move to the side or something, but they didn't even flinch. Finally, I got close enough to see that it was some asshole dressed as Death, carrying a scythe. Something was odd, though. People, even if they are on the sidewalk, usually look over their shoulder at an approaching car, but they didn't. As I drove past, however, this person ever so smoothly looked right into the window of my car on the driver's side. It gave me such a fright, like when people clap in your face. I passed them too quickly to see their face, let alone see what gender they were. After I passed them, I looked into my rearview mirror trying to see them, but it was so dark. I stopped at the traffic lights, and that's when I started to panic. I remember those scary clown guys who used to block people's path and tap on car windows, so I went through the red. No one was on this road anyway. I pulled over to the side and tried calling the cops at the station, just in case somebody hits them, but no one answered. I remembered my boss told me to hurry, so I just went on with the delivery. I got to the house and parked on the side of the road, and I gave the people their pizza. It's always awkward handing over the pizza in silence, so to make conversation, I told them what I saw. They laughed and said that it was probably someone making a TikTok. I laughed as well. I guess it was a pretty good prank. I got in my car and went to start it, but I couldn't find the keys. I checked outside my car as well, but I couldn't find them. I searched for ages, but no luck. I started to panic and kept thinking about that person I saw on the street. I jumped into my car and locked it from the inside. I almost started crying when I heard jingling. I looked to my right to see that person dressed as Death, holding my keys, staring into my window. I felt everything in my body pulsating, but I couldn't move. It was like they were staring into my soul. Eventually, I started acting on instinct. I don't remember thinking or doing it, but all of a sudden I was holding down the locks inside my car. My car is small and only has 2 doors, so I could easily reach across and hold both the locks down.
Long.
They started spamming the car remote and trying to open the door. I was using all my energy to hold down those locks. I don't think I'd ever used so much effort and strength before in my life. Again, I froze. I tried yelling at them, but I was holding my breath. Finally, a peep of strange sound came out as I gasped for air. I started screaming profanity at them. I screamed so much that my words became gibberish. A feeling of numbness took over my body, and I couldn't hear myself screaming anymore. My whole body was being controlled by my anxiety, and my ears were ringing. I was sweating profusely. All this time, I couldn't take my eyes off them. This person, this thing, standing over my car with a scythe. I knew that if they got in, I wouldn't stand a chance. The shadow from the hood hid their face. Was this even real? They stopped trying to get in and just looked at me. I started screaming out of exhaustion, and I became dizzy, and my vision was blurred. There was a silence, and then about 10 dogs started barking close by. This gave me hope. While leaning on the scythe, they lowered their body and put their face only a few centimeters from the window. Finally, I could see this person had covered themselves with a skull mask. We both froze and just stared at each other. I couldn't help but look into their eyes.
Shit.
The eyes. There was something unnerving about them. They didn't look like they were holding in laughter, like it was a prank. Through this creepy skull mask, I saw that they just looked curious, like how a little kid looks at an animal in the zoo. I shut my eyes and started calling for help. I had been screaming for so long, why couldn't anyone hear me? I feared that fatigue would take over and they'd get in. At this moment, I swear I was almost convinced that death had come to collect me. I remembered my phone had Google Assist. With my hands still in the locks, I tried my luck and said, "Hey, call 000." It worked, and my phone contacted emergency services. I could not describe the feeling I got hearing the voice of the operator on the other line. I heard the blunt jingle of keys dropping. I opened my eyes, and the person dressed as death had disappeared. I tried looking around, but I didn't want to move. I just spoke to the lady on the line while holding the locks. She told me to keep doing what I was doing, and that she was sending the police. I waited on the line with her until the police arrived. It felt like hours, but it was only around 10 minutes. I told them what had happened. Because the person was threatening and I feared for my safety, I was required to make a formal statement to the station. They told me they'd keep it on file. The officers spoke to the people in the neighborhood, and none of them heard me scream or saw anything, and they were used to the dogs going off at night. I found my keys around 2 meters from my car. I called my boss, and the officers followed me back to my work, where I signed out. I then followed them to the police station.
Weird.
I called my parents, and they took my
What's up?
statement. It was almost 1 a.m. when it was finally finished. This was a couple of months ago, but sometimes it feels like I'm going crazy. It was probably some asshole messing with me, but they just looked so curious, like they were studying me. Or they enjoyed watching me feel helpless and terrified. I still do deliveries, but I never leave my keys in the car.
That was intense.
Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you would like to
Boss
support the
fired
channel, check out the merch link in the video description.
My boss shot me.
My friend and I would go to this forest we found a few months ago. It was a 20-minute bike ride plus a mile walk to get where we used to camp. We made a teepee as our base and even sharpened a few sticks in case we had to fight anything. I know it's dumb, but we thought it was super cool at the time, being 14 years old. I'm a big fan of horror movies. I'd make my friend watch them with me all the time, and he hated it. He would always get paranoid that someone or something was gonna get us when we were there. That's how we came up with the idea to make a teepee and wooden spears, so we wouldn't be attacked. We were finishing the school year online and had to study for finals, so we hadn't been back to the forest in weeks. After the finals were all said and done, we decided to take a trip up there to relax and check to see if our teepee was still there. Our parents agreed to let us stay there on the basis that we'd keep in touch throughout the night. We didn't tell our parents this, but we would always take a big buck knife and a hatchet with us. We really thought we were manly. Anyway, when we were gathering our stuff for the night in the forest, we noticed that the buck knife was missing. We thought nothing of it and assumed we'd just left it at the forest the last time we were there. On the bike ride there, my friend was on edge. We just watched a scary movie and he was being a wimp as usual. At around 8 p.m., we arrived at the rough part of the forest, where we had to continue the rest of the journey on foot. As we were walking, we smelled a terrible stench in the air. I couldn't locate or tell what it was. This, of course, made my friend think that there was a dead body and said we needed to leave right away. I told him that he was being a wimp and overreacting. The crunching of the fall leaves began to sound like squelching. As we peered down, we saw a trail of red leading up to where our teepee was. This really freaked my friend out. I told him I'd spotted a can of spray paint in the trash a mile back and that someone was probably playing a prank, just to calm him down. The closer we got to our base, the stronger the smell became. When we finally got there, we saw our teepee and felt a huge wave of relief come over us, even though the smell was as pungent as ever. We peeked inside the teepee through the little door flap we had made, and what we saw was haunting. There was evidence of someone living there. The clothes looked like men's, and they were huge. We continued to investigate the site. Behind the teepee was 2 rotting deer carcasses with a wooden spear in one and a buck knife in the eye of the other. At this point, my friend was already running back to our bikes, but I stupidly stayed for a little longer to scope out the area, when I was greeted by a deep, monstrous voice. "Would you like to live with me forever?" As I slowly turned around, I was confronted by a creepy old man. I couldn't even begin to describe his face. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen in my life. I bolted back to my friend. Luckily, he's a slow runner, so it was easy to catch up to him. We then biked back as fast as we could, not looking back.
Completely insane.
Sticking around.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm fucking passing out. We'll see you tomorrow, most likely. Yeah, we're doing antibiotic tomorrow, so definitely tomorrow. Be early, maybe. Maybe later. But I will be around. And thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you as always. Go pass out. Sleep is off. I'm still like recovering from sleeping. Not at all for a few days. So. I don't know. It's catching up with me. But go pass out. See you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Yes.